Hi, I'm Bill Lampton, the Biz Communication Guy. Like many of you, there have been times in my career when I've shifted from one type of work to another. I suppose the most drastic for me was when I left my post as a speech communication professor at the University of Georgia to become a development officer, which is a nice way of saying a fundraiser, at my alma mater, Millsaps College. Yes, I had studied persuasion at great length. I'd been teaching it, but now I had to practice it on the front lines. And of course, asking somebody for money is very testing. It's very demanding emotionally. You know you have to get the right words. Very fortunately for me, the person that I reported to gave me a suggestion soon after I came onto the job about how to ask somebody for a gift. And it would not be the worst approach which I've ever heard, and that is to go to some potential donor and say to that donor, "We've got you down for $500. Oh man, that's a way to get shown the door pretty quickly. No, the phrase that my supervisor introduced me to is this one: could you consider? Now, what is the power of could you consider? The main thing is that it doesn't sound coercive. It leaves freedom of choice. It tells the person that they don't have to do this, but you would like for them to give it a thought. And throughout 2 decades in professional fundraising, I discovered that could you consider gained many dollars for the charitable organizations that I was representing, far more than any other approach could do. Okay, from a business standpoint, this phrase, could you consider, is also very valuable. Let's say that you're in an organization where the CEO holds a staff meeting every Friday at 3 p.m. Probably one of the worst times you could have a staff meeting as far as morale is concerned. And yet none of you have had the courage to say, you know, there'd be a better time to do this. It'd be a better day to do it. But instead, you could say, could you consider let's meeting mid-morning Friday instead of mid-afternoon Friday? We would all have so much zest and we wouldn't be thinking about where we were trying to go at 5 o'clock. All right, another one in the management and working world would be, could you consider not merging public relations and marketing, those departments? I know, sir, that you see a great similarity between the two, and yes, there's a kinship, but they're not the same, and putting them together might not work. So could you consider leaving them separate as they are now? Far better than saying you're making a mistake to merge those two departments. If you're a consultant and you're working with an organization, instead of saying to them, it would be great if we extend our contract 3 months. No, instead say, could you consider extending our contract for 3 months? I know we could accomplish much more together. In your travel as a business person, this could work wonders. In hotels, it never hurts to ask when you are assigned a room, could you consider upgrading us to a suite? Gosh, we're tired. We've been traveling all day. We've got early morning meetings tomorrow. If we could relax in one of your suites, how great that would be. I can assure you this works. It could work on a flight that's not entirely jammed. if you were to say, is it possible that you could consider upgrading us to first class? It can happen. And then if you're in real estate, say to your potential buyer, you're trying to sell them a house, say to them, could you consider this house that we're about to enter now rather than the one you thought for sure you were all ready to sign the contract on? I encourage you, test this powerful, persuasive phrase. It puts the other person in the driver's seat where they want to be. Again, you appear and you are non-coercive. There's an old saying, I think it was Jeffrey Gitomer who said, people don't like to be sold to, but they do like to buy. Help them buy by asking them, could you consider? Thanks very much for being with me. I wish you well in your persuasive efforts. And could you consider being with me again? Thanks very much. I'm Bill Lampton, the Biz Communication Guy.